Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle. And watch your step on the moving walkway because we're taking you park to park to prepare you for your next visit. Let's Discover Universal.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. I'm David, and I'm a Galaxy Defender.
And I'm Kari, and I'm Bugbait. I think I need another chance at the ride.
Yeah. We rode twice, and you did not. You improved a little bit. Little bit. Of course, the ride we were talking about here at Universal Studios Florida and Universal Orlando Resort, Men in Black: Alien Attack.
There is a lot to unpack with this ride. There's a lot going on. It's a lot of audience interaction, I guess I would say.
It's an interactive ride.
Totally.
Yeah.
We are going to get all the way into that today. We are going to talk about our experiences, give you some cool, fun facts, and then we're going to wrap it up with some nuts and bolts that you need to know about the ride.
Absolutely. Let's get zapping.
Men in Black, Alien Attack, zap, zap, zap. I would say a lot of fans really, really love to come here and enjoy Men in Black.
Including myself.
Oh, yeah.
Including yourself.
Yeah.
It's fun. So let's, for our guests maybe that have never visited before.
Yeah.
Where you been? But what type of ride is it?
This is an interactive ride, like
Yes.
you said before. This is
We call it a dark ride
Yes.
in theme park terminology.
yes, it is an indoor attraction.
You're on a moving vehicle that's going through areas, through some sets.
Yes. And it is interactive in the sense that you are zapping aliens with your handheld alien zapper. So you're looking around and there's targets. There's about 120 species of aliens included.
We counted. Yeah.
Yes, we did. And that is a fun fact. And there are targets on these aliens. So every time that you zap one of those aliens, you get points.
Absolutely.
And then at the
you got
end,
a little scoreboard right in
yes.
front of your seat.
At the end, you get to tally up your points with your whole car. You can compete internally like David and I did. We kind of had a competition, a bet going of who was going to win. But the car has their average amount of points at the end. And then you get a rating from the agents, from the special agents that are training you.
That's right. To
Yeah.
see if you can cut it
Yeah.
in the ranks of the Men in Black.
That's right.
Yeah. So again, a family-friendly ride because everyone in the car can compete against each other. Sibling rivalry,
Oh, yeah.
try to get the high score in your family, the high score in your vehicle there.
And there's sort of track-to-track rivalry.
That's true.
because
You're competing against the parallel
Yeah.
track vehicle.
There's a left side track and a right side track. So there are other trainees that are sitting on the other side of the track from you, and you can compete with them as well.
And ultimate re-rideability.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you got to improve your score.
Well, yeah.
You got to do better. You got to see more targets. You got to see more aliens that you missed one time.
And this is one of the first rides of its kind that does have a different ending. It can be a different adventure every time.
Depending on how you do.
That's right.
You get a good ending.
Yes.
You get an okay ending if you need to brush up on your skills a little bit.
That's right.
So some fast facts for us. The height requirement for this ride, you must be at least 42 inches tall to ride. Yes. If you are underneath 48 inches, you will need an accompanying supervising adult to ride with you for our little adventurers there. The vehicle configurations themselves, there's 2 rows of 3 guests each, and they do have accessible vehicles as well. And it's cool because the seats are actually tiered. So like the front seats are a little bit lower than the seats in the back. So it's kind of a fun, like different little viewpoint of the front versus the back because the back you're sitting a little bit higher. You get to kind of see over everyone.
Okay, that's a good question for you. You have ridden in the front and the back of the ride
It's
vehicle.
true.
Do you prefer one over the other?
I think they each have their advantages because
Okay.
the front is cool. You got your unobstructed view,
Right.
right?
Right.
But the back,
That's
you get
the way to go.
That extra. I did much better the second time when we rode from the back row.
I feel
So
like
maybe
you
I
can
do better in
see
the back
more.
row.
And, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself because there are
We
some
are getting
tips
ahead.
and tricks.
We're
I
gonna
know.
have to step all the way back and just deep dive through the whole experience.
I know, you're right.
But what are
Just-
you thinking?
Just a few more nuts and bolts logistics about this ride. Your Universal Express Pass is applicable on this ride, so there's a separate line for that. And lockers. Lockers are free while you are riding at this attraction, so use them.
Yeah, the vehicles are set up that you're not able to have any sort of big bag with you or anything like that.
Or jackets or
basically if it doesn't fit in your pocket, so phone, keys, wallet, that kind of stuff, they will ask you to place that in the lockers. But like you said, they're free while you ride.
That's right. It's a great way to do it. All right, I think that's all the extras, the base things that everybody needs to know.
Let's get to the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about guest perspective, right?
like the exterior, walking up to this thing.
Okay, so where is
can't
it
miss
located in Universal Studios Florida?
If you enter the park to the right, go up Hollywood Boulevard,
Yes.
and then just go straight down all the way to the back of the park, you will find it.
It's what we call the World Expo.
That's right. That is the area. I used to work right next door for many years.
Yeah, you were neighbors.
I was neighbors. I love that part of the park because when you get to, not even talking about Men in Black, Alien Attack, the attraction itself, but when you're there, you're right at the end of our long, Central Lagoon. If you look back, it's a gorgeous view of like the whole park.
Yeah.
It's so pretty at night with all the lights and everything. Yeah. Right by the water there. There's a great gift shop, great food and beverage stand there.
Oh yeah, excellent background music. Shout out to our
will
sound
say-
techs doing great work out there.
I've always said that's my favorite background music in the whole park.
Yep,
Because it's a
mine
lot
too.
of like 90s like rock and hip hop and stuff.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
The building itself is super cool.
Oh yeah.
Very like mid-century architecture.
Yep.
It's actually harkening back to like the 1964 World's Fair. It's got like the spires that kind of look like alien saucers. Fun fact.
Yeah.
If you take a look at all the way at the top of those spires, right? There's three of them and they have like the saucer things on top.
Yeah.
The third one, the tallest one, is like a little jagged on top because I think that's where the alien saucer took off and went back to space.
Fans of the franchise that need to be eagle-eyed to check that out.
Yeah.
That's a great homage.
Details.
Yeah.
The details.
Exactly. All right, so you're walking up, you got your stuff in your locker, you're ready to ride, okay? And you're entering the Universe and You Pavilion.
Yeah. It's
to
a very
learn-
catchy theme song.
Oh yeah, very good. To learn about extraterrestrials, about aliens. Only to find that when you get in there, this attraction is serving as a cover for the Orlando branch of the Men in Black headquarters. I know.
And we've been accepted as official trainees,
The twist.
agents in training.
Woo!
So now you're whisked off into the agent training area,
Yes.
right? So you get in an elevator, you're whisked 51 floors down
Ooh.
into the sub-basement.
Of this covert operation.
Yeah, and then you're like going through the halls of the Men in Black headquarters based out of here, Orlando, Florida, the Orlando branch
Yes.
of Men in Black. And it's really fun. There's really fun stuff in the queue. You get to see, you pass the break room with the worm guys from the movie.
Oh, right. The four.
We had to look, we have their names. We have a document here. They're called the Umish Kanish.
Oh.
Also known as the worm guys.
Okay.
But feel free to say hello to Siebel, Giebel, Niebel, and Mannix.
Wow.
That is their name.
They sound fun.
But it's funny. They're drinking coffee. They're talking in there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's like a couple door gags on the outside. Like if you grab the handle, it's like. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I think you go through like an alien scanner at one point.
Yeah.
And then you're in this really cool room. It's called Immigration Control, right?
Yeah.
So you're up on this like mezzanine balcony.
We got a chance to tour it on the ground level.
We were down there walking around.
Yeah.
And got up close and personal. So it's straight out of the movie too. There's like a big screen there. It's all the desks where all the agents are, and it's funny because it may be kind of hard to see from up there on the balcony, but there's like paperwork on the desks, and they're like writing up like application for naturalization for all these extraterrestrials who want to live here on Earth. And there's some fun Easter eggs down there. Maybe you can ask for an immigration tour.
Yes.
This is kind of a special thing that they do there at Men in Black Alien Attack. Doesn't happen all the time, though.
Depending
we got
on
to give a
availability.
caveat.
Yes.
If it's not too busy, you can ask out front. You can ask the agent out front for an immigration tour. And if they have someone available, if it's not too busy, I don't want to get in trouble with them. But but sometimes they are able to bring you down and give you a tour of immigration control. And like I said, really cool details down
It's worth
there.
asking.
Really fun
But even if not, you do get to see it from a viewing platform up above.
Yep.
You're on the outside, so you can take some really cool pictures as well.
And then you go into like my favorite part of the queue, which is like the armory.
Yeah.
And it has all the different blasters and weapons from like Men in Black. So you get like the noisy cricket, the little tiny one.
I like that.
And I think in I think you even see the zappers that you're going to use on the ride
the
too,
prototypes.
hanging on the rack. Yeah. Among all your equipment as a Men in Black agent. And then you're to the final room. Then it's time to get on the ride.
All that is before you
we
even
haven't
get
even
on
gotten to the ride yet. Yeah.
There's a lot to see. It's
It's funny. They have like employee of the month pictures on the walls.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all the agents sitting there with like their sunglasses on and like no smile, serious face.
Of course not. They take this very seriously, as should you.
Yes.
Okay, this is serious
We are
business.
agents in training.
Zapping aliens.
Okay.
Okay,
So now it's time to ride the ride.
we get to the loading platform. All right, so you're going to get on your ride vehicle, When you sit down, you're going to pull down the lap bar.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of safety mechanisms out there, looking good. And then you get your alien zapper. Okay, so this is a handheld zapping device.
Yes.
So you're looking for those targets.
So now the ride has started. We're rolling off. You'll find there's 2 tracks. So you're going to be put on one of either side of these tracks. The 2 are mostly the same. There's kind of slight variations to like what scenes you'll go through. You might see some different aliens. So maybe, that's actually a chance if you want to ride again, you can always talk to the team member and see if they're able to accommodate you by riding on the other side of the ride. But you won't miss anything. Don't worry. You're still zapping aliens.
All right, so now we're getting into the zapping element.
Yes.
Is it time to offer...
Commence the zapping.
Zapping has commenced. Do we need to start sharing our tips and tricks to get those high scores?
Well, sure. Right off the bat,
Okay.
what's your first tip?
Well, I would say aim high.
Okay.
For me, there's sort of smaller targets.
Like up in the upper
high,
windows.
yes.
Yeah.
And be aware that there are moving targets, like the actual aliens themselves will move. And then there's sometimes obstructions in front of or to the side of those aliens that will move that will make that target more or less visible. So be vigilant, I would say.
You sound like a pro.
I am not.
Yeah.
I told you I'm bug bait. I'm not really good at this game, but I have the mechanics and the knowledge to do well. I just don't always follow through.
And my tip right off the bat, as soon as those zappers are activated at the beginning of the ride, hold down the trigger.
Oh, yes.
Because as we've heard from many of our agents that work
Yes.
over there, your score continues to go up whether you're hitting targets or not.
Oh.
So you want to hold down that trigger on your zapper the entire ride. Of course, you want to try to hit the targets too.
I mean, that's the point.
But it helps. A little extra points goes a long way. So the very first scene, you're in the training room.
Yes.
And it looks just like the training from the movie.
Yes.
Where they're zapping all the aliens. But then very quickly, stuff gets real.
Yeah.
So you're out of training and into the streets of New York.
One of our favorite characters interrupts this training to announce that an alien prison ship has crash landed smack dab in the middle of Manhattan. And now
boy.
you are like, this is practical application of your training.
Of all the ships that had to crash,
Yeah,
it had to be the one full of alien criminals.
of course. And these bugs, these alien bugs, they have taken over the city and they've created like almost a war zone that you are going through and you're trying to get rid of these bugs, man.
Yeah.
You got to zap them.
Zap away.
Yes.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're to the left, to the right, above, below.
They may be disguised.
As things.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. Are you like, is that
There's
a
like-
trash can or a bug? What do I do?
There's like the hot dog stand. There's like the one sitting on the bench reading a newspaper.
Yeah.
Apparently Frank the Pug, so the famous dog from the movie, the
Yes.
character from the movie, is in the ride. We
Yes.
were right next to it. I keep missing it every time. I think it's like just behind you where the vehicle is pointed. So I need to ride again and see if I can find him.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that you don't miss.
What?
The big bug.
At the end?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So you're zapping away.
Yes.
Right? You're getting your points.
Going through all the streets. There's an ambush
Yes.
that takes a picture, so be ready.
Oh, yes.
If you
Smile
want
for
to look,
the camera.
if you want to look good in your picture, spoilers, when your car gets ambushed, strike your pose.
That's right.
Because otherwise, you're going to get the picture that I get every time, which is just super focused,
David's got
zapping
like
away.
laser eyes.
I don't have time to smile for this picture.
That's right. No time. You got zapping to do. You got points to rack up.
And then there's a part where your vehicles pull up against each other.
Yes.
And you have to zap the exhaust port of the other vehicle. That's a really
yes.
fun part.
Yes, that's the scanner portion.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It turns out the other vehicle is full of aliens in disguise.
Gosh, every time. Every time.
But if you hit the other exhaust port, it spins the vehicle out.
That's right.
If your vehicle gets hit, you will spin out.
Yes, I do want
Did
to
we
let you
mention
know.
there's a lot of spinning on this
There's
ride?
a lot of spinning.
Yes.
So if spinning is not your thing, be aware of that.
And then we get to the big
Big
bug.
bug. Now
The
this
big
thing
one.
is ginormous. This thing is big.
I would venture a guess that our zappers have no effect. So there's only
kidding.
one thing left to do.
What do we do, David?
Push the red button! That was my agency impression.
That was really good.
Thanks.
You got to push that red button right in front of you. Make sure that you time it. If you time it appropriately, you're eligible for a bonus.
You get a 100,000 point bonus.
That's a big deal.
There's different methods of thought here in this push the red button situation.
Yes.
Because is there like timing? Is it available like right after he says the word button at the end? Some people like hold it down. I went tap, 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 tap. Like I kept pressing it. More than one person in the vehicle can get the bonus if they time
cool.
it right.
Yeah. Good tip.
I want to give a quick shout out to ourselves. In our second In our second episode, where we did just an overview of all of Universal Studios Florida, we interviewed an amazing guy named Frank who used to work at Men in Black Alien Attack, and he had some amazing tips. And so when we're talking about this, it just reminds me of that.
That was a lot of fun.
I don't know if we've improved much since that episode at the ride.
But we have had a lot of fun. This is a great time to say, this is why we say this ride is a lot of fun to go back and ride again.
Yes.
When you get off, sometimes you want to get right back in line and rewrite it because it's that sense of competition. You're like, oh man, I was cosmically average last time. I really want to be a galactic defender. Like it lights a fire.
So we got to talk about the ending. That's what Kari just referenced.
Oh, right, yeah.
So at the end, you have a score.
Yes.
The maximum score is 999,999.
Oh.
All nines across the board. I've never gotten it.
I've got some nines. Got like 9,000.
There was some nines in there.
There's some nines. 19,000. I got one. Doing really good.
But basically, at the end, Agent J comes on the screen, and they average your score. So here's the thing here's a kind of a detail that may not be apparent.
Yeah.
They actually average the score of each vehicle against each other.
Right.
So you want your whole vehicle to do well.
Yes.
And whichever vehicle does well, they get applauded. They get a special ending, where they get to become Men in Black agents.
Yes.
I don't want to do the full reveal, but you get to see something really cool.
Experience for yourself.
If you maybe didn't do so hot, then you actually get to see like a coach character, like an alien that's like, do better next time.
That's right.
Come on back, try again.
That just means you get to go back and ride it and try again for more nines.
If you did amazing and everyone else in your vehicle did bad, then you got to have a talk with your family.
But then you win the internal family competition.
That's true.
And like they have to, buy you a churro or whatever your bet was.
There are takeaways.
Right.
Yes.
What did we bet, David?
That you had to refer to me as a galaxy defender for the rest of the episode if I won.
Barf.
Which, spoiler alert, I did.
You did win.
By quite a lot.
If I won, what was I going to make you do?
Eat a bug.
Yes. That's fair. That's a good trade-off, but you dodged that.
Not just any old bug off the street.
No.
In the gift shop, they have candied bugs.
Yes, they do.
Can buy.
I was going to be merciful and get you a gummy bug, but it would have been satisfying to make you eat it. So we rode in a vehicle with 4 of us. It was David, myself, executive producer Michelle, and our sound engineer Art. There are 6 seats.
Yes.
So we were told by one of the lead agents there at the attractions.
Let's give him a shout out. Adrian helped us out a lot.
Adrian was a rock star.
He was telling us all sorts of facts.
Oh, yeah. He said
cool dude.
That instead, because you can pick up the other alien zapper.
Sometimes I do. It's kind of fun.
It's super fun. You can do this double-handed if you want to. But
pretend you're in your own action movie.
But he's saying if you focus on one zapper, those 1-point zappers, if you're doing both, they're going to add both of those scores to the average. But if that score is 0, like if nobody uses that zapper, that's not going to be part of the average. So if you want a higher score and you want to contribute, just focus on one zapper. Or you know what? Do whatever you want. You're the agent in training. You cultivate your own experience. Have fun. But that would be my tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the ride?
Yeah. You get to check out your picture.
That's true.
Which is really fun.
In the gift shop?
Yes.
They have the theme song playing from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I can hear it in my
about?
head. You're dancing like a fool right now.
Just dance with me.
Yeah.
Just dance with me.
You love that song, and you are so cute dancing over there.
The theme song from the movie?
I know you know every word because you told me that you used to.
I have a very specific memory of that song.
Please share. Please share, because
So
I love this.
When I was like in middle school, because the movie came out in like 97 or 98, something like that. I think it's 97. So I had the CD that the theme song was on, and I used to mow the lawn because, helped out around the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I had my big Walkman CD player and my headset, and I didn't listen to the whole album. I listened to the theme song for Men in Black on repeat.
I'm so proud of you.
So yes, I very well could do the song, but just know, listeners, that I could do it.
Yeah, can vouch.
And I was doing it as we walked out of the ride.
Vouch. It's a lot of fun. The gift shop is really cool. They have a lot of fan favorite merchandise, of course, from the movie. They have some other franchise merchandise in there, so feel free to stop in and some of the, I would say, rarer stuff back there. Check it out. Michelle just texted me that she would like everyone to know that she actually won the first ride. She actually won.
We did ride twice.
Michelle won.
kicked our butts the first time.
Okay, Miss Thing. So if we had bet before the ride who was going to win, what would we have had to do since we lost?
This isn't live.
Ride Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket over and over and over again.
No! I'm gonna barf.
That would have been okay. I would have been okay with that.
Actually, that would have been fun. Yeah. Let's go ride Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Okay, fair enough, Michelle. She drives a hard bargain, but we'll make it happen.
But then we rode a second time.
We did ride a second time, and David was the winner.
Found a rhythm.
Yeah.
I don't know if because we were, like I said, first ride we were in the front row, second ride we were in the back row. I don't know if the added height and change in perspective helped me out, or I just had some steady hands. Do you know what I did? I was holding the zapper like closer to my face so I could like line it up a little better.
Oh, because it has a laser.
That's another thing. Yeah, that's probably a good tip we should mention is you can actually see your little laser dot every time the zapper goes. So that helps with the aim. You can also kind of see somewhere in the ride if you see like kind of little black dots around the aliens. So in general, you want to aim at kind of their eyes. They have like glowing eyes. Mm-hmm. So generally, the targets are around those big glowing eyes. So those are good targets. But you might kind of see in the ride the little black dots, and those are the sensors. So those are the ones you want to hit. And every time you hit it, your zapper makes a nice little ding sound to let you know that you have a successursual hit. So
don't I know it? Sitting next to David,
you
it was like
hear it a lot. Yeah. Mine was dinging.
Yeah, I didn't hear that sound a lot. I didn't hear it.
Oops.
It's fine.
Yeah, I loved it. That second ride, oh man, I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm amped up right now.
You're at a 20.
I hit a rhythm. I like had a really steady hand, and like here's another tip is like if you get a good target, you want to like stay on that target as long as you can because you want to just hit it and rack up the points, right? So my zapper was going like ding, 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 and it was just like dopamine hit. Every little ding, I was like, yeah. And then I think the most points I got was when we were shooting the exhaust port of the other vehicle. And like so you hit it and they spin, but I think there's a little gap between their spinning. And so I lined it up and I'm telling Art, he's got to find the sound clip of just my zapper going crazy.
Yeah.
As I line this thing up.
Well, I was very proud of you, but I will tell you I don't remember the ride.
Now that you mention it, I don't remember it either.
I feel like it was like a dream or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And we should go to the Universe and You
The Universe
attraction.
and You exhibit.
Yeah, we should check it out, see what happens over there. And you, our listeners, should do the same thing because this attraction is a lot of fun. Like we said, it's almost like a different ride every time. There's a different ending, and it's all based on you. You can have a lot of fun with this. Again, it is family friendly, so take the younger adventurers and the young at heart adventurers and enjoy.
Well, I think that about covers it.
Yeah. Yep. From the queue to the area of the park to the attraction itself and the feeling you get when you get such a great high score that I may never know, but you do.
Maybe we should ride again, and I'll focus on you, and I'll be a spotter for you.
We definitely have to ride again.
Carrie,
we got to ride again
Carrie,
today.
aim there. I'll sit there, and I won't even focus on myself. I'll just be like, Carrie, top left, top right.
Somehow I will still only get 50,000. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is we need to do a quick take 5 rewind.
Number 1, just covering our need-to-knows here at Men in Black Alien Attack. Of course, it is an interactive dark ride featuring an express pass lane. Don't forget the minimum height to ride. You have to be at least 42 inches to ride. If you are under the 48-inch line, you will need a supervising adult to ride with you. And it does require lockers for any big bags or anything that doesn't just fit in a pocket.
That's right. Number 2, it is a competitive game between family and friends, should you choose to make it a competition. It is in a great area of the park. It's in World Expo. You can make a cool family moment of it. There's some great food stands over there, some great drink stands. Again, we talked about that great background music. Sometimes you may see some Men in Black agents out on the street. We do seasonally have our agents out there looking for new trainees.
There is actually a satellite location of our customer service right next to Men in Black Alien Attack as well.
That's right.
You probably don't need them, but just in case, they're right over there too.
Cover all your bases.
Yeah. Number 3, a few tips for you. We said them in the episode, but we'll reiterate them here. You definitely want to zap the higher targets. The smaller targets definitely worth a little more points. Hold down that trigger the whole time, and if you get on a good target, try to hold your hand steady and try to rack up the points from that target before moving on. Keep an eye out for the glowing eyes. And of course, when you get to the part of the ride where you're shooting the exhaust port of the other vehicle, that's a time where you can rack up some big points as well.
Number 4, this is a lot of fun because there's multiple endings and different scores every time, which makes it for the ultimate ride that you're going to want to exit and then come right back into the queue.
And number 5, push the red button! Mark my words, one day I will get that perfect score
It's going to happen.
of 999.
I can't wait.
999. Today, I got the highest score I've ever gotten.
Today was a triumph for David. Well done.
I was like 650,000
Sorry, not David.
something.
Mr. Galactic Defender.
Thanks, Agent D.
Fair
I've
enough.
earned my Men in Black status.
You have. Everybody, you guys have too. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to our executive producer, Michelle. Thank you to our sound engineer, Art. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yes. And thank you to all of our friends at Men in Black Alien Attack, especially Adrian, our lead agent today. To learn more about Universal Parks and Resorts, head to our show notes for links to our Discover Universal blog for a more in-depth look around our destination. While you're there, sign up to receive emails that will include articles, videos, and this podcast delivered right to your inbox to prepare for your next vacation. If you liked what you heard, leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.